Hi everyone. Well, yesterday we had our first drop of rain for a few weeks, which was very welcome. But then last night we had some very strong wind and it did blow the runner beans over and a few other bits in the garden. So I'm going to show you what I did with the beans. Now these are growing all right in the pots, but obviously when there's high wind, it did take them, knock them all over. So what I did, managed to stand them back up, and then I'll put some bricks in the bottom. That's just to anchor them down. There's a few little rocks there, and I've got another brick there because they was all laying flat and the canes came detached. But I don't think there was too much damage. I was worried about the whole plant being broken, but they survived that all right. Now behind the beans there's this tomato that was self-sown. That was laying flat because the beans were on top of it. So I've managed to tie that onto a cane. Whether it'll do anything, produce any tomatoes, I don't know. But then there is another one that is growing here as well. So I'm just going to leave them to do their own thing. This is the datura, which did get blown over, but luckily it wasn't damaged. But I want to show you that it has actually got buds coming. So I'm really excited to see what they look like when they're actually fully in bloom. Now what I'm going to do today is take these foxgloves out. There's one there and some more over here because they've finished flowering and I want to put some other things in their place. Now they don't have very deep roots, so I'm careful the way I step over here. Now that should hopefully, says me. Oh, now that should come up like that. But it's deeper than I thought it would be, so I'll just dig that one out. Actually, I think there was a bit of rain. Oh, this one's coming up better. So I'll just take those out. Right, taking the foxgloves out. Now, with the wind yesterday, these cornflowers are quite tall. They got a bit blown over, so I'm just going to anchor those to the little stakes a bit better. Perhaps put some more stakes in just to tidy those up, and they do need to be deadheaded as well. Right, I tied up the plants here and deadheaded them. Those few I've missed, but I'll get back to those later. So that makes that look a bit neater. Now what I'm going to do is put some other plants in the place of where the foxgloves came out of. Now what I've got here is two plants that I bought at our local shop when they flutter to the pots because they don't water them. Now this one is a delphinium, and as you can see it's got a flower coming already. And here, this is a Perennial Lobelia. Now that was completely flat, but it's surprising how it's picked itself up. I love the colour of the leaves on this. So I'm going to put these in where the foxgloves came out of. I've just placed the pots where they're going to go. So that's the delphinium there, and the lobelia over here. So I'll just dig some holes, and I'm going to fill them with water and then plant them in. Now after digging the hole, it's surprising how dry that is right down there. So what I'm going to do is just fill that up with water, let it drain down, and then I can plant the plant in. And I should do the same for the other one. Now the plants themselves have been watered well, so hopefully they'll have a fighting chance before it gets too hot again. So I'll let that soak down and then I'll plant the delphinium. Right, I've got those planted in. They look quite nice. The border's looking a bit more tidy now. But one more thing I'm going to do is sort out the alliums that are growing in a pot on the patio. Now these alliums are really pretty, really dainty. I don't think it was a good idea putting them in the same pot with daffodils and the bluebells. So what I'm going to do is gently tip these out and then plant these actually into the same border. And then next year they can just grow up there as well. I'll probably just leave the bluebells and daffodils into the pot. So I'm just going to tip those out. Right, I've separated the alliums from the bluebells and daffodils, which I shall leave to dry out and then they can go in the shed. But these I'm going to put in the garden. Now I've got 10 of these taller ones, so I'm going to put those in the back of the border, put them in groups of 5, and these yellow ones, they're not quite so tall, so I can put those a bit further forward. I've planted the taller alliums at the back there, just supported them with a cane for now. And then the shorter ones, these are yellow ones, but they've obviously died down quicker. So I've put those a little bit in the front. Then the other ones I've got over here. That's the taller ones. And then the shorter yellow ones there. So that's another job done. So I'm pleased with that. So the border is beginning to look a bit more healthy. A bit more tidied up. So I'll say bye for now and I'll see you next time.